The first preparatory trial in the case against a 21-year-old serviceman of the Russian army took place in Kyiv. He is accused of violating the laws and customs of war and deliberately killing a civilian in Sumy region. The prosecutor of the Attorney General's office said that on February the 28th, the accused shot dead an unarmed man. According to the investigation, the convoy of the serviceman was defeated by the armed forces of Ukraine, but Vadim Shishmarin and several of his colleagues managed to leave the battlefield in a stolen private car. In the village of Shupachivka, they saw a civilian talking on the phone. They shot at him several times so that he would not report their whereabouts. A 65-year-old man died on the spot. Within days, the Russian military was taken prisoner. According to the investigation, it was Shishmarin who shot at the civilian, and he admitted his guilt in committing the crime during the pre-trial investigation. The accused was provided with a free interpreter and a lawyer. He faces 10 to 15 years in prison or life imprisonment. The next court hearing will take place on May the 18th. As a result of the shelling of Odesa on the night of May the 9th, the Vorontsov palace was damaged. This was announced by the Minister of Culture, Alexander Tkachenko. The building is located in the central part of the city and is an architectural monument of the early 19th century.
Broken glass, damaged stucco, roof. Today, I would like to appeal once again to the world community, to the international organization UNESCO, about the extraordinary consideration of the issue and the inclusion of Odesa in the list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. This is necessary in order to preserve our cultural heritage not only for the city of Odesa, but for the whole world.
According to the Ministry of Culture and Information Policy, the Russian military have committed 331 crimes against Ukraine's cultural heritage since the beginning of the invasion. For the current day, the Korabelny and Ingulets districts of Mykolaiv have come under fire. Houses have been destroyed. Shops and a library have been damaged. According to the mayor Alexander Sienkiewicz, 5 objects of the city infrastructure and more than 10 residential high-rise buildings have been damaged. 5 civilians have been injured. For the current day, the Russian military fired on the border of Sumo region. The Ministry of Internal Affairs of Ukraine reports about it. Soldiers of the State Border Guard Service of Ukraine recorded 5 bursts on the outskirts of one of the border villages of Shostka district. An inspection of the impact site revealed that the fire had been conducted by the unguided air missiles. Their fragments were found on the ground. No one was injured in the shelling. The head of Luhansk Regional Military Administration, Serhiy Haidai, said that the Russian army destroys more than 50 houses in Hirske and Popasna communities every day. The enemy has fired on the region 30 times this day. There are destructions in Troitske, Komyshovacha, Vrubivka, Zolote. As a result of artillery shelling in Lysychansk, the administrative building of the plant of rubber technical products has been destroyed. This day, several settlements of Kharkiv region came under missile fire. As a result of airstrikes in Lozova community, residential buildings have been damaged and 1 person has been injured. This was announced by Mayor Serhiy Zelensky.
The territorial community has been shelled with missiles. There are destructions of critical infrastructure, private households, high-rise buildings, cultural center. 1 person has been injured.
The town of Derhachi also came under fire. 2 people were killed and 4 were injured. The humanitarian headquarters, the premises of the polyclinic and the ambulance were damaged, said the head of the regional military administration, Oleg Sinyagubov. In the village of Shabelinka, a Russian shell hit a hangar building, set it on fire, and destroyed 10 trucks. 3 people were killed and 5 were injured. The village of Tsyrkuny in Kharkiv region was liberated on May the 7th as a result of a successful counteroffensive by the armed forces of Ukraine. It had been under occupation since the first days of the war. Now the fighting continues several kilometers north of the village, towards the Russian border, and targeted evacuations are conducted from Tsyrkuny. Seriously ill people are being taken out. What happened to you? The house exploded and I got hurt a little. You see, here, there's nothing to wipe it off. I'm after a stroke. Did a shell hit your house? Both the house and the cellar. Everything is destroyed. And I was sitting and eating, and when the explosion happened, I fell under the table. Locals greeted Ukrainian defenders with tears in their eyes. They told how they had survived the occupation and what the Russian military had left behind.
They did a lot of damage. Half a bucket of shell casings was collected. That means they fired at everything possible.
According to the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, as of May the 14th, more than 1,000 settlements of Ukraine have been deoccupied.
1,015 settlements have already been deoccupied, plus 6 for the past 24 hours. We returned their electricity, water supply, communications, transport, social services. It is important. Of course, we remember every city and every community that is still under occupation. Kherson, Melitopol, Berdyansk, Enerhodar, Mariupol, and all cities and towns of Donbass. The gradual liberation of Kharkiv region proves that we will not leave anyone behind.